Have you ever seen a boy with funny clothes? A girl with braces on her teeth or freckles on her nose? Some kids call them oddballs. Some kids call them weird. Is it my imagination, or does Aunt Ruth have a beard?
I don't quite know what that was, but I feel like you guys already know the explanation. It's late. It's almost 1 o'clock in the morning. I finished an Angry Orchard before I got in here. So this one's gonna be a little wacky, alright? So just prepare yourselves. Hello everyone, welcome back to Thomas & Friends Home Media Reviews. It's our season finale for 2023. Hope you guys are not too sad about that. I, for one, am devastated because I had to watch the Steam Team collection for this season finale. And let me tell you, this ain't great. It was so not great that I just had to sing a VeggieTales song at the beginning of this episode to make me think of better things. And that's not because I was watching a VeggieTales silly song compilation before I got in here. That's totally not it. It's not it at all. Before I burst into song for a second time, let's go ahead and jump into the history section of the Steam Team collection. So, unbeknownst to me, before doing research for this home media review, the Steam Team collection has a United States counterpart. I did not remember this at all from back when I was doing Thomas & Friends home media reviews regularly, but when I looked this up on the wiki, the first photo is of the US version, and I thought to myself, hey, wait a minute, this isn't right. Because the UK version has 3 DVDs, while the US one has 4. Then I scrolled down and saw, oh, okay, there's a UK and a US release. The UK release of the Steam Team collection hit store shelves on May 14th, 2012. This bundle of joy includes Thomas and the Runaway Kite, Splish Splash Splosh, and Creaky Cranky. For comparison's sake, the United States one also includes those 3 releases, but it tacks on the Lion of Sodor into its box set. So if you get the US one, you've got what is almost a complete Season 13 set. It's pretty close, although you'll find out if I recommend you get the UK one later on, but I don't think there's any I don't think there's any suspense about that, but you'll get to hear my thoughts on these episodes again, I guess. As far as this box set goes, that's it. There is no other release of this in the UK or the US. At least I don't see any other release date that's listed on the wiki. So that's what I'm going to go with. It was released once in 2012 and probably stuck around till around 2013, 2014 before the rest of the copies were pulled off of store shelves. If there were any copies left over, because obviously this thing sold like hotcakes, I bet. Everyone was so excited to see classic episodes such as Toby's New Whistle or Thomas and the Runaway Kite. Yeah, they were so excited to watch these episodes. I certainly was. That wraps up your history section. Let's move right along to the close-up. Alrighty, everyone. Here's your close-up look at the Steam Team collection. Starting off here at the top, we have 3 DVD sets with a green border there. That should look familiar to you because back in the Best of Thomas, we took a look at that Best of Friends 3-pack, and it also had the 3 DVD set up there as well. Thomas Friends logo, Steam Team collection, stock art of Thomas, Percy, and James rushing through the Nitrogen-era forest where all the textures looked very plain. And then we have our 3 releases that are included here on the side. Splish Splash Splosh, Thomas and the Runaway Kite, and Creaky Cranky. Our ratings are down here at the bottom, G and U. Funny how the G isn't on this side. I guess they didn't want to cover up Creaky Cranky there. I mean, it is a very important release, of course, but it's just kind of funny how they had to put both the ratings over here because they didn't want to cover up Creaky Cranky. This poster art's fine. It's not great. It does tell you everything that comes in the set, though. It's very concise. It does what it needs to do. The spine, newer hit logo, 3 DVD set, Thomas Friends logo, Steam Team collection, ratings, product number. The back features, again, that green border, as well as includes 12 thrilling episodes. With the Thomas Friends logo there, we have a breakdown of each of the releases with a little blurb about each one. Link to the Thomas Friends website, and then your bonus content is listed down there. We have 3 sing-along songs, one for each of the releases, and then Watch with Mr. Perkins. I wouldn't really call that a bonus feature, since those segments play while you watch the actual episodes. But okay, that's fun. Ratings, once again, your barcode, and then legalese and stuff down there at the bottom. Open this up. It's the same setup as that friendship pack, whatever it was. I completely forgot the name of it. But here are your discs. We have Splish Splash Splosh. Looks very similar to the US variant, except it's got UK ratings on there. Thomas and the Runaway Kite. And Creaky Cranky. Creaky Cranky's art actually looks a bit different. It's not a squished up version of the poster art. So that wraps up your close-up. Let's move right along to our first of 3 menu tours. Alright everyone, here's your menu tour for the Steam Team collection, starting off with Splish Splash Splosh. This menu is completely different from the US menu. For one, it's in 16:9 widescreen. Also, it's not just a cheap rendition of the poster art. And the release is starting. We love autoplay around here, don't we, everyone? This menu is actually way more dynamic than the US one. We've got clips from the episodes playing in this bubble over here. We have a photo of Thomas and a photo of Charlie over there, and water splashing up in the background. It's actually quite a fun menu. We have play all, select an episode, bonus features, and turn our subtitles on or off. So we'll go ahead and jump into select an episode here. We have 4 to choose from: Splish Splash Splosh, Slippy Sodor, Snow Tracks, and Playtime. And this also has a fun menu to design as well. We have rain going on in the background here. Your bonus features are as follows. We have You're the Leader, karaoke music video, and Meet Mr. Perkins. Now, I don't know if this is the same Mr. Perkins segments that are on this release. Let's take a look at it together. Click play to meet Mr. Perkins as he guides you through Thomas's Splish Splash Splash adventures. Yeah, I assume this is just the same Mr. Perkins segments as before. Let's go ahead and unmute this and see what exactly this is.
Oh, this one looks delicious. Yes, I think this one. Let's just make sure I got everything I need.
Alright, so this is just the Mr. Perkins segments spliced in with the episodes. And I know that because the file that I ripped for this included the Mr. Perkins segments, because it's over an hour long down here, or close to an hour long, 51 minutes. So, yeah. I do like that they're included here. The Mr. Perkins segments were some of the best parts of the CGI stuff over here in the United States. That's interesting, though. So what happens if I select Play All? What happens? Okay, there's the hit logo. Okay, so it just plays without the Mr. Perkins segments. You can see down there, runtime 43 minutes and 37 seconds. So you have to actually select a different version of this to get it to play with the Mr. Perkins segments. That's very interesting. Another interesting part of this release is it starts with a trailer for the 65th anniversary of Thomas and Friends and a trailer for the Drayton Manor theme park. I had never seen either of those trailers before. The one for the 65th anniversary features Michael Angelis, which I thought was pretty cool. Am I allowed to say nice things about the Drayton Manor trailer? I know the fandom gets very touchy when we mention Drayton Manor around here. Moving along to Thomas and the Runaway Kite. Again, another menu that's different from the US one. Yeah, the poster art is reused here, but at least we have clips from the episode playing on a little kite here. Our same options as on Splish Splash Splosh. Play all, select an episode, your bonus features, and turn subtitles on or off. Select an episode. I'm pretty sure this is, if not very similar, then the same to the US version. We have Thomas and the Runaway Kite, The Biggest Present of All, Toby's New Whistle, and Buzzy Bees. Here's your bonus content. With Charlie and a kite there, we have a music video for the song Determination and Watch with Mr. Perkins. We select here, click play to join Mr. Perkins as he guides you through Thomas's adventures. Same thing here as on Splish Splash Splosh. To watch the Mr. Perkins segments, you have to select it from the bonus features menu. Which I think is kind of weird, considering that we didn't even get the option to watch without Mr. Perkins over in the United States. There's also no transitions between the Mr. Perkins segments and the episodes. It simply just cuts to black, and then the episodes with the full intro and outro start playing. It's kind of odd. Our final menu tour, Creaky Cranky. This one is also different from the US version. Not only does this one start with the trailer for the 65th anniversary of Thomas, as well as the premiere for Hero of the Rails, just like Splish Splash Splosh and Thomas and the Runaway Kite did. This one also has a trailer for Misty Island Rescue on it. Yay! These options are kind of bland here. These menus keep getting more bland as we move on. Splish Splash Splosh was really the high point in terms of menus. We got Cranky and Thomas over there. Watch with Mr. Perkins. Hey, we finally have an option to watch with Mr. Perkins outside of just the bonus features menu. Or we can play episodes only. Let's go select an episode. Okay, this is different. The episodes are actually playing in the select episode menu. Interesting. Creaky Cranky, Tickled Pink, The Early Bird, and Steamy Sodor. Your bonus features are a sing-along song, the sound song, a puzzle, Guess Who, Down at the Station, Railway Jobs. You can go back to the main menu. Kind of want to see what this puzzle is.
Guess who this is? Keep guessing. Did you guess? It's Cranky.
Alright, so the puzzle is just what you get on the US releases in between stories. What's down at the station?
The railway line. Lots of people work on the steam railway.
I assume this is kind of like a Mr. Perkins segment, just without the Mr. Perkins part. I'll see what I can do to actually rip this off of this disc, but if I can, I kind of want to upload this to the channel, maybe some point this week. Maybe an extra video for you guys, who knows. You can turn your subtitles on and off from this menu as well. But folks, that wraps up your menu tour for the Steam Team Collection. Let's go ahead and head on back and answer the 5 main questions, as always. Alright, so we're back from the close-up. Now it's time to answer the 5 main questions, as always. Number 1, where can you pick this product up? Well, you can pick it up online. I don't know if it's available in UK stores, but it certainly isn't available over here in the States, at least not in store. Number 2, is this product still being printed nowadays? This one I can give a definitive no answer to, because come on, it's been a decade. There's no way that this was printed last year or something. Universal would not do that. Number 3, should you pick this product up? Before I started this revival season of Thomas & Friends Home Media Reviews, I had no intention of ever going back to watch season 13. Ever again. I watched all of the episodes, or most of them, back when I was doing this show regularly, and I said, that's it. I don't have to ever watch these again. Not true, because I watched these 3 releases for this HMR, and let me tell you, it wasn't as bad as I remembered. Don't get me wrong, it's still bad, but it's not as bad as I remembered, okay? There are some redeeming qualities here. We're going to go through these in the order that I watched them, starting with Creaky Cranky. Obligatory Creaky Cranky collab joke. Insert that here. Mr. Perkins, I'm so happy to see these segments come back. I missed Mr. Perkins, and these are in glorious 16:9 widescreen. You can see the entire set now. The guy who plays Mr. Perkins is so charming. I love him in this role. He makes the audience feel welcome in this fictional world, and it truly feels like he cares about playing this character. I love Mr. Perkins. I am so sad that the actor unfortunately passed away. Not a great segue here, but back in the day, me and my friends had this stupid theory that Mr. Arkwright, which it's his birthday that Mr. Perkins is decorating for here in the Creaky Cranky segments, we had a theory that Mr. Perkins murdered Mr. Arkwright, and to grapple with that murder, Mr. Perkins has somehow convinced himself that Mr. Arkwright is still alive. Even though, in a moment of weakness, he murdered Mr. Arkwright. We even went so far as to parody the Where Oh Where Is Thomas song, and it goes something like this. Where oh where is Mr. Arkwright? Where has Mr. Arkwright gone? Perhaps he's playing hide and seek, or maybe he's been murdered. Sir Topham Hatt has spoken. Mr. Arkwright must be found. So everyone is searching while Mr. Perkins is on the run. If Master of the Lemons watches this episode, he should remember that. Oh man, those were good times back in the day. Which we came up with that theory because Mr. Arkwright's never seen again after season 12's segments on those releases, so I don't know, maybe the theory holds some volume. The episode, Creaky Cranky, is extremely stupid, but it could work if it was written more comedically. Kick out Thomas from the main role, put in maybe a new character who hasn't had a lot of interaction with Cranky. This unnamed new character, who I'm going to leave up to you guys to choose, is challenging Cranky to all of these different things, and Cranky, knowing how big and strong he is basically giving no shits about these challenges. It could work if it had more of a comedic tone to it. The episode, again, isn't great, but I don't hate it. It's okay. Like, this is one I wouldn't mind to watch again, but it's not one where I'm like, ugh, get that away from me, I'll never watch that again. Like, it's okay. I still hate Victor's UK voice. This thing just doesn't sound like Victor at all. It just... I prefer Victor's very deep voice. Hello, my friend. Welcome to the Steamworks. That just sounds better than this, hello, my friend, I am Victor. Like, ugh, God. No, that's not Victor, not Victor. Tickled Pink is an interesting idea for an episode, and if it was written better, it could work. But one major question, why would the workman apply James's lining when he's in his primer paint job? That makes absolutely no sense. If they were just priming him up for his base coat of red paint, why would you do the lining for that? Because you're going to have to paint over it. It makes no sense. However, again, knowing how particular James is about his color, if this episode was written better and had snappier dialogue, it could work. As it stands, though, the episode's not very good. We've already talked about Steamy Sodor. I hate it. It's a bad episode. I hate Victor's UK voice. Same opinions as earlier on in this season. I don't like the episode at all. And the last episode on Creaky Cranky is The Early Bird. And it's an episode that definitely exists. I have no thoughts on this episode whatsoever. It simply exists. Moving right along to Splish Splash Splosh. Same thoughts about the Mr. Perkins segments as before. He does a great job. That Thomas cake that he makes in these segments looks really, really good. Like, top notch. He could actually be on the next season of Is It Cake? Splish Splash Splosh had some really good mud detailing work on a lot of the engines. Yeah, it doesn't look the best, but I like seeing Thomas and Rosie in weathered, kind of dirtier looks as opposed to the crisp, clean paint jobs they normally wear. And the mud and water effects, they look pretty good for the time. This is an issue with the new CGI Thomas stuff as a whole, but Sir Topham Hatt always seems to show up whenever it's convenient. Like, what does he actually do to control the railway? 'Cause from what I've seen from a lot of these episodes, he just shows up whenever he's needed, and he's never in his office, he's never doing something important, he's just out around, and the minute that Thomas screws up conveniently for the third time, then the fat controller arrived. Thomas the Tank Engine, why have you rammed these troublesome trucks into the Sodor brothel?
I'm sorry, sir. The troublesome trucks said they wanted to go on the... They wanted to sit on the siding that was next to the brothel.
Oh, Thomas, how will our esteemed customers be able to participate in the Sodor brothel with the troublesome trucks in the side of the building? Thomas knew he had to make things right, or else the Sodor prostitution ring would go out of business. I warned you this episode was going to go off the rails. Slippy Sodor. The one note I have for this one. Why would you transport bubble liquid in an open barrel on an open flatbed? Like, okay, maybe the open flatbed, I could maybe go with that. It looks like it's strapped down, all right? But why in the world would you transport it in an open barrel? Put a lid on that thing. These are questions I'm sure everyone has already asked, and I'm sure I asked these back in the original HMR and Splish Splash Splosh, but I can't help it. Slippy Sodor is so dumb. I did kind of laugh at the pig that was in the back of Sir Topham Hatt's car. That was kind of funny. But Slippy Sodor as a whole is a stupid episode. We talked about snow tracks earlier on in the season. It's okay. It's alright. It's not a bad episode, but I don't really care. I don't really care a lot for it. Playtime is really stupid. I hate Charlie as a character. It just, in this era, there's nothing to him. However, we have a continuity error here. In the UK version of Splish Splash Splosh, playtime is moved from the beginning of the release to the end of the release. This is significant because Charlie is introduced in playtime and appears in Splish Splash Splosh. So if you're a fan who watches the UK dub exclusively and watched the UK version of Splish Splash Splosh, you would have been confused because who is this Charlie person who just shows up out of no? Oh, okay, playtime is on this, really. Okay, I'm gonna sip my tea. Charlie's a terrible character, but this tea is smashing. Classic case of continuity just being thrown out the window, and me being a Star Wars guy, continuity being tossed out the window. I know all about that. But at least we're done with Splish Splash Splosh, and we're almost done with this entire release, because Thomas and the Runaway Kite is up next, and it's the last one. Again, same thoughts on the Mr. Perkins segments. I did like, though, the dynamic with him and the parrot. I thought that was funny. I'm a sucker for talking animals. It was kind of funny when he was on the phone, and he's talking to Sir Topham Hatt. Oh, of course, sir. It would be an honor to rattle my rods at a binky. It wouldn't happen in real life, but I thought that was funny. Also, the voice they got for the bird was kind of funny, too. Bubbling boilers? I hope you guys can't hear that in the audio, but it's raining cats and dogs out there. What do you think about the rain, Binky? Fizzling fireboxes? Alright, Thomas and the Runaway Kite's the first episode on this release. Good, because there's no continuity errors here. But why in the world do we need a large steam engine to transport a tiny trophy on an open flatbed again? Why the hell do we need that? Why do we need to waste resources, coal, water, shutting down a line so he can get from point A to point B to transport a tiny trophy? Throw that thing in a box with a bunch of padding, send that shit off to UPS, it'll be there in less than a day. Why do we need that? I know why, for the sake of this episode to happen, but why in the context of the universe do we need that to happen, okay? It's very dumb. Biggest present of all. I like how excited Thomas is for Hero's return. It shows that Thomas and Hero really developed a special bond while he was helping Hero get repaired. But why did Hero's return have to be so soon? This is probably another rant I went on back when I did Splish Splash Splosh originally, but it bears repeating. Hero's been gone for what? 2 weeks? A month? Dude has been stranded in the wilderness for years, staring at the exact same thing for literal decades. He gets repaired by Thomas, and over at the Steamworks, he gets sent back home. He's so excited, but the minute he gets the offer to come back to the island of Sodor, the place where he sat abandoned for years, probably has a shitload of trauma that hasn't been addressed, he jumps at it. He says, "Oh, absolutely. I will go back to the island of Sodor, the place where I sat abandoned for years." It's so dumb. It's so stupid. Not only does it negate the ending of Hero of the Rails, which is still very emotional and very well done, it doesn't make sense in the context of the universe, because Hero's been sitting in that sighting for years. Why would he ever want to go back to the island of Sodor? Yeah, I get it, his friends are there, but I would think his own mental well-being would trump his friendship with these characters that he's only known for a few months. The dialogue in this episode really stuck out to me because of how many times we get told by Thomas, Percy, Hero, and the narrator how they all feel. My boiler is bubbling. Hero, our special friend, is coming back to Sodor. The 3 engines hooted and tooted with happiness. We get it. They're happy. Why do we need to be told that at least 3 separate times? Moving along, Toby's new whistle. This one I actually didn't hate. I thought this was an interesting concept, kind of like with Creaky Cranky or Tickled Pink. Again, if it was written better, this could actually work. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think in any prior Thomas story Toby has ever used an actual whistle. He's always had a bell. So seeing how hesitant he is to actually use it here, that does make a little bit of sense. Maybe not in the grander context of Toby's age, because Toby is supposed to be older here. He certainly doesn't act like it. Maybe if we looked at this story from like a perspective of when Toby was on his old railway and the works not having an extra bell to replace it, that would actually kind of make sense. The Steamworks, I feel like here, would have a stockpile of bells, perhaps. If you changed the time period, changed the dialogue, it could work. But as it stands, it's not a bad episode. It's kind of meh. And Buzzy Bees, oh boy. Our grand finale, Buzzy Bees. This episode hinges on a stupid decision that Thomas makes, which a lot of these episodes hinge on that. A lot of the episodes from this era hinge on that, and this is a classic example of it. Buzzy Bees, the entire story could have been avoided if Thomas had just taken the stupid track through the woods. Again, though, why are we transporting bees on open flatbeds? That's just... what? Why are they not in, like, boxcars or something? Like, I get it, you don't want to close up their hives. They like to get out and roam and whatnot, but why are they on an open flatbed? Why are they not like a cattle car or something? I don't know a lot about transporting bees, but to me that just sounds dumb. There isn't really a lot of bonus content on any of these releases. You saw that during the menu tour. There might be a couple music videos. There were some fun trailers on them, like the trailer for the Hero of the Rails premiere and the trailer for Drayton Manor Theme Park. Those are cool. And then that 3-minute segment about the railway line, which I think I mentioned in the menu tour that I would be uploading that. Yeah, I will. I'll figure out a way to get it off the disc. But a couple of really cool trailers and a few episodes that are kind of okay but still need some work. Is that enough for me to recommend the Steam Team Collection? No, it's not enough. I'm not even going to keep you in suspense. The Steam Team Collection is a bad box set. Sure, value for money, you get 12 episodes, but they're not of good quality. I don't even know how much this retailed for, so I can't break down the cost per episode. I would say probably this retailed for about $25 to $30, and at that price point, I can't say yes to that. I can't say to go out and find the Steam Team Collection. It sells for nowhere near that now, but even at $5, I can't say yes to this. No, I do not recommend Steam Team Collection. Keeping up the tradition of ending each season with a not recommend, but no. Stay away from Steam Team Collection. The UK dub does not improve these episodes at all. In fact, Michael Angelis sounds like he's asleep at the wheel here. I've been complimenting him a lot throughout this season. Here I have nothing good to say. Like, it feels like he was sleepwalking through the majority of these narrations. Number 4, where should you pick this product up? Same answers as number 1. And number 5, what price should you pay? Well, it's going for about $5 to $6 over on eBay right this minute. So if you really want to go against my recommendation and pick a copy up, go for one of those. And so we've come to the happy end of our, well, maybe not so happy end, but an end to our revival season of Thomas and Friends Home Media Reviews. And it's time for all of us to go home. Well, I'm already at home, but if you're not at home, it's time for you to go home. Just like Thomas. This revival season has been pretty fun, I have to say. There have been some stinkers in this. The release we just talked about and Little Engine's Big Days Out, but there have also been some pretty good ones. Best of Thomas, Complete Season 6, Seasonal Scrapes. I mean, there have been some really good releases here. Did I really just say Best of Thomas was really good? You know what, scratch that. Best of Thomas is in the okay category with First Class Story. Season 6 and Seasonal Scrapes, those are the two really good ones here. And Engines to the Rescue. You know what? Engines to the Rescue was really good too. But with the good, there's also some bad. So, it was a pretty even season. As far as your guys' response, you guys are eating this up. Which I appreciate that. I love that you guys are so excited to watch these videos every single week. Like, you all have really stepped up in terms of watching my content. Like, this revival season, it may not have broken a ton of my records, but it's gotten up there in terms of views, and I am so thankful for that. All good things must come to an end, though, and I officially put Thomas and Friends Home Media Reviews on hiatus the minute that this video gets uploaded. That sucks, but I have other things I want to cover. We're not quite done with Thomas and Friends Home Media Reviews yet. We may be done with regular episodes for the time being, but next week we do have a supplemental. I'm not going to say what it's on, but it is on something from the UK, and it's something that Dan sent me. That doesn't narrow it down at all, but it is a supplemental. The week after that supplemental is when I'm going to be uploading my annual regarding HMR thing that I do almost every year, where I talk about my upcoming plans for the rest of the year. Lord knows you all have been curious about it. I've been keeping it very close to the chest because I didn't know if there were going to be any changes. I didn't want to announce anything too soon. I finally have my schedule completely planned out for the rest of the year. I have some of the videos done. Some of them are in production right now, but I'm excited to get to announce that to you guys. I think you all are going to like what I have in store. As far as when Thomas and Friends Home Media Reviews will return with regular episodes, I can't promise anything just yet. I do have a rough plan for what's coming in 2024. I have some big plans next year that I'll talk about in a later video. Nothing that I can reveal right now, but just know there's some really big things on the horizon. You guys are going to be psyched out of your mind for this. You're going to bricks. You're going to love it. I can't say when this show will come back just yet. I can't even give you an estimate because I truthfully don't know yet. Rest assured, though, when it does, you all will be notified. As far as things go, that's it for me. Thank you all so very much for watching this episode of Thomas and Friends Home Media Reviews, and thank you for watching this revival season. It's only through your likes, your comments, and your views that I'm able to do this series. And by the grace of God. Well, mostly by His grace. I never could have accomplished something like this without His blessing. Thank you all so very much for watching. I will see you all next week with another Thomas & Friends Home Media Reviews Supplemental. Good night, everybody.